Welcome to the Center Leader Podcast, where our goal is to encourage you to live life as a leader centered on Christ. I'm your host, Kurt Corcoran, and today we are continuing our series, Staff Stories. And today I have with me our Communications Director, Mackenzie Stevens.
Yes.
Mackenzie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having
Usually
me.
you are taking pictures and doing
am.
stuff on the other end of the camera.
I am, so this is new for me. But
yeah.
I'm having a good time. It's great.
Yes, absolutely. So how long have you been here at Centerpoint?
I've been here going on a month and a half.
Wow,
so
that's
not
such
too
a long time. That's 4 weeks.
I'm actually the oldest one here, yeah.
Oldest one, actually youngest one. You just graduated high school, right?
College.
College, okay, sorry. Yeah, no.
Yeah, just graduated college in December and then moved back from Tennessee to Alabama, and now I'm here.
Okay, so you grew up in Tennessee.
I grew up in Tallahassee, so like 40 minutes away, then moved to Tennessee for college, and then just moved back.
How do you say, is it Tallahassee?
No, that's Florida, so it's Tallahassee.
Tallahassee.
Yeah, no H.
Tallahassee.
Can you say eclectic?
What?
Eclectic?
Epileptic?
Okay, not even close. That's where I went to high school, though.
Okay.
Eclectic.
Is that in Alabama?
Yeah, it's like right beside Tallahassee.
Okay, see, I'm still figuring out.
That's okay.
Prattville, Montgomery, that's as far, Wetumpka? That's as far,
Wetumpka?
as far as I go.
Yeah, which
right
a lot
now.
of people in Tennessee can't say Wetumpka either, so.
Okay,
You're
so
doing
you
better.
grew up in Alabama,
Yes.
but you went to school in
Tennessee.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. And then you've been here for a month now.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how do you feel? Like, do you feel settled? Do you feel like you're still getting your bearings?
I feel settled for the most part. Yeah, I'm having a good time. I feel like, which going into this job, I was really nervous that like, oh, this 21-year-old, because I was 21 at the time, is going to come in and she's going to like change all these things, which I didn't. But I was just scared that people were going to see my age and kind of walk all over me. But when we say like it's all about relationships, that's really true because everybody here has talked to me like they've known me my whole life. And it's like overly comfortable, and I love that. So, yeah, I'm pretty settled.
Yeah. I will say that's what I've loved about Centerpoint too, because me and my wife, we're only 4 months into this now, but we feel so connected already with the relationships.
No, for sure, yeah.
It feels like there's a lot of barriers that are in relationships usually that are just broken down. It's just like man, people trust, and people there's freedom to do ministry here. There's freedom to use your gifts and talents, and that's what's exciting about it.
Yeah.
So tell me, as a communications director, what is your favorite shot in a worship scene? Do you like up close? Do you like the far shot?
So I'd like to take pictures in the middle of the auditorium where you can see like everybody worshiping, but then you see the band also. Yeah. That's my favorite, and I take a lot of those. Yeah. And then if people like have their hands up and you can see like the band behind them, but also them, that's really cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I didn't really tell you that I was going to ask you this, and you can answer it however you want, but what would you say to the skeptic who would say, oh, we don't need to post any pictures of, or worship is private or stuff like, because I've always heard that. Right?
Yes. So I disagree with that because like pictures tell the story of a church. Like you can post promotional stuff all day long, but that's not telling you who the church really is. Yeah. So pictures, you can see what the church is like, who they are, and just like get the overall vibe. And I love that. Yeah. And like you can't really know Centerpoint without seeing Centerpoint, like seeing the people, seeing the relationships. So I think it's important. Yeah.
In today's age, and I've heard this and I would agree with it, see if you agree with it, the social media is like the front door to the church.
Oh yeah, because I'm going to social media before I go to Google to look up something.
Yes.
So yeah. I agree with that.
No, and I think everybody is like that too. Before they'll even step foot in the building, they're going to go and check out our social media page, go and check out our live stream, etc. So that's why it's so important what you do and what Marty does too, and all our tech team and across the board. When it comes to that, is that that's truly important because that's the first thing that people see. Oh yeah. Before they come to Centerpoint. Yeah. So share with us a little bit about your faith journey. How did you grow up in church? Did you not grow up in church? What was the journey?
Yeah, so I grew up going to church. Like it was not out of the ordinary for us to go to church, and like we had Christ-centered conversations. But growing up, it was more I did it because I was told to, and because that's just how I was raised. But it wasn't until high school, and one of my best friends, she would like call me out on things like, Kenzie, that's not living like a Christ follower. And I'm like, you're right. And so then I started really diving into what it was to be a Christ follower and what it was like to live for Jesus. And then that kind of shifted my perspective on things. And in high school, I really started to grow my relationship with the Lord and like surrounding myself with people who would push me in my faith. So that's kind of, I would say, the start of it. And then as I went throughout college and like even now, I like started serving more and started really learning what I wanted to do like with my life, and that is ministry.
Yeah.
And so now I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever envision yourself working at a church?
Not at first, no. So I went to school for audio production, and I wanted to go on tour with an artist and be gone all the time, and I thought that was like gonna be my life. And then I interned with a production company 3 summers ago, and I got to tour and do all the things that I thought I was gonna love, and I did not like it at all.
Yeah.
Like that was not what I was meant to do. But through that, I got to work a youth retreat, and I almost didn't go because it was in Colorado. I wasn't gonna have phone service. I was gonna be gone for over a week. And I was like, that just doesn't sound fun for me. But they made me go, and I'm really glad I did, because it like looking out and seeing all the youth like worship together and like pray with each other, it was almost like a peace came over me, and I was like, wow, this is good. This is crazy. And I think that's where my call to ministry really came from. And that's when I knew like I wanted to do what I'm doing now. Yeah.
So, yeah, because you saw the impact that not only the gospel can have on a life, but also intentional, focused gathering of people, and what there's so many logistics that needs to happen in a gathering like that too, and stuff, and especially in now today's age and world where people are living on social media, and people are I would even go as far to say this: people are being discipled by social media. And I mean that in this term. They're getting fed from social media, whether that's lies or whether that's truth. It's happening. And so we can infiltrate the dark with the gospel through communications and through media. And I think that's why your role is so important, especially for Centerpoint, is just to the disciple a generation of my age and of your age and of those generations, and across the board. Because even Nana Beth has a Facebook now, right? And whether she's getting scammed every 5 hours and having to post on Facebook and saying, "Don't accept any friend requests from me. It wasn't me." Right? Don't you love those posts?
I love those.
Yeah, right. And that's happening, right? So we live in that world, but we also live in a world where social media across the board is growing and people are interacting, and so that's what I think is so cool about your role, is you're figuring out how to best serve that community.
And kids, like especially my age and younger, they mimic what they see on social media. So like if you see somebody worshiping, then it's like, oh, that's cool, so I'm gonna do that. But if you see somebody like doing something else and they mimic that, you kind of want to like focus on the positives, so our younger generation does grow up knowing that it's okay to raise your hands in worship, to pray with others and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been asking everybody this question, all of our staff in this series, and that's this question: as you walked your faith journey, for you, what's one thing that you've learned that you wish every follower of Jesus knew, or something that they could be reminded of on a daily basis? What's that thing? What do you think?
Okay, I'm very passionate about this. So in my phase of life, I just graduated college. It is so easy to find fulfillment in worldly things, such as a job or a relationship. And that's not what we need to find fulfillment in. I think, because like that's so easy, and it's like, if I get this job, I'm gonna be happy. If I date this guy, I'm gonna be happy. And that's not where your happiness should come from. Your happiness should come from the Lord and your relationship with God. And I think that's really important to know, to not find like our happiness and our peace and fulfillment in worldly things, but instead Jesus.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And preach to the single girls out there. What would you say to them in that moment?
Girls, listen. Your time will come. Like, God already has his plan. Stop trying to make your own plan. That is my thing. And I had to learn that. But because God will humble you.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And especially in this generation. And then, me and my wife, we've talked about this too. Just the Christian dating scene has changed so much.
It has.
And it's so hard because you're wanting to find somebody who's following after Jesus as you're following after Jesus.
Right.
but you also don't want to hurt friendships and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's so much there.
But you also need to find somebody that's going to grow with you and push you and not hold you back.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Yeah. And I feel like my generation and your generation, we were always scared to like, oh, what if it doesn't work out? Then I have to go to church with them still, and it's awkward.
Yeah.
And how do I meet a Christian if it's not at church? And where, where are those, different things? So I think I think not only in society, I think that's a really hard topic to discover and to pray through, but I think you're doing it well, and I think we have a lot of single adults at Centerpoint that are really pursuing Christ, and in God's timing that will take place.
Yeah.
So I think that's why that's so important for every believer in Jesus Christ, but not to find your fulfillment in other things. So absolutely. So what would you say, kind of in closing here, and a little lighthearted questions before we get there, what is your go-to like snack? And it doesn't have to be healthy. Like you can confess here and say like.
Okay, it depends. Are we at a gas station?
Wherever.
Are we on a road trip at a gas station?
All right, so.
Okay, let's make a scene here.
You're 5 hours into a road trip.
Okay.
You stop at a Buc-ee's.
We stop at Buc-ee's. I was gonna say.
There you go.
Okay, I'm probably gonna get Cheez-Its because that's a classic, and a Dr. Pepper.
Hold on. There's a lot of Cheez-Its. Are we doing
the original.
extra crispy?
No, original.
Parmesan?
No.
Original.
No.
Original.
I'm a plain girl. I like what I like. I don't like to change it. So plain Cheez-Its.
Plain Cheez-Its.
Dr. Pepper, and then.
Can you name all the flavors that are in Dr. Pepper?
No.
I've actually looked up the list before, and it's crazy.
How many is there? Isn't it?
There's 23, right? I think.
Yeah.
Is that right, Marty? Don't know.
I think we'll look it up later.
Like it's on the bottle. Yeah, 23.
Yeah. No, I haven't. I think if I knew what was in there, I might not want to drink it, and I can't do that. I just bought a case last night, so I'll look it up after I finish that case.
So Cheez-Its, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're good. Cheez-Its, Dr. Pepper. If I'm in a sour mood, I'm going sour gummy worms, easily. If I'm in a chocolate mood, probably a Reese's.
Okay. Sour gummy worms, are you budget friendly there, or are you going for the trolley?
I'm going for the trolley.
Okay.
Like you can't get the basic or the cheap sour gummy worms. They don't taste the same, and you're expecting trolley when you bite into it, and you're always disappointed.
Yes, I agree with that. And then you said chocolate Reese's?
Yeah.
So what kind of Reese's? Because now there's a whole line of Reese's too.
Okay.
These questions matter.
They do matter. Original Reese's, like the plain, but there is one where it's like a molten lava Reese's or something that's new. I want to try that, but I haven't gotten around to it.
Okay, that's good to know. So you're snack based now.
Pause. But if I'm driving home from church, I'm going to my house, and I'm wanting a sweet treat, Dutch Bros.
Dutch Bros.
Dutch Bros. Yes.
Yeah,
Ice Golden Eagle with soft top.
Ice Golden Eagle with soft top.
Yes.
What is soft top?
It's like cold foam.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I just don't understand why they charge an extra $1 for it.
Oh, that's at Starbucks?
Yeah, they charge $3 for it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Go to Dutch Bros.
Yeah, go to Dutch Bros. We are not sponsored by it, but we should be.
We wish we were.
It's a problem.
It is a problem.
So my next question for you is, what is your hobby? Like, what do you enjoy doing outside of taking pictures, outside of communications? Knitting?
No.
Okay.
No, I go to bed at like 9:30 though, so I don't really have like a lot of time for hobbies. Let me think.
Is it books? Is it movies? Is it video games? Is it skateboarding?
I did skateboard for a while there, and I got decent at it.
Wow.
But then I stopped because I got a job. But it depends. It depends on the phase of life. So sometimes I'm in a book mood.
Okay.
I have not been in a book mood in like months, so I've been watching shows or rewatching old shows. But yeah, it just depends.
Do you like Sarah, my wife, she likes like crime podcasts. Are you into that right now? Okay.
No.
So what kind of shows do you watch? Is it like crime? Is it
I like
fiction?
Like funny, humorous shows. I'm trying to think of one I watched recently.
The Office? Are you an Office fan? Parks and Rec?
I'm a Parks and Rec fan.
Okay, yeah.
I just rewatched Gossip Girl, so I like stuff like that.
Okay.
And Gilmore Girls, but the acting is okay in that one, so I have to.
Yeah, those are kind of like classics, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen them, but I've heard of them.
You should.
So, no, that's okay.
Okay. No, for sure.
Yeah, no. Okay, so kind of as we're ending this, any encouragement or takeaways or last minute thoughts when it comes, because once again, this is going out to our Connect group leaders and to across the board to our congregation to get to know you a little bit better and kind of behind the scenes. Any last minute encouragement to our leaders and stuff of that nature?
Okay, so something that somebody first told me. So I lead a table at the women's Bible study. And something that somebody told me, because I was really nervous to start it out, because I'm obviously leading ladies a little older than me, and I've never done that. I've only led kids. And I was like, I'm like really scared because they're gonna know more than me. They're gonna like think I don't know what I'm talking about. And the woman I was talking to, she was like, stop, like God called you to this. He put this opportunity in your life for a reason. Lead with confidence. You can learn from them while they learn from you, and y'all can grow together.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important to remember. And yeah, just have fun. Have fun in your groups because it is awesome.
Yes.
And that's my advice.
Yeah, absolutely. And be authentic and be
authentic.
Real
Yeah.
And stuff. And I think that's something that's been really important for you, and something that I think the staff across the board has seen, that you've been really real and authentic and in your communication and stuff. And obviously that helps with your role because you're a communications director,
this
right?
Is true.
But I think that is what has helped you excel already a month in, and so I think it's good for people to see that too. It's like, hey, it's okay to trust. It's okay to lead with trust.
Right.
And we know in relationships we're always going to trust is going to be broken.
Yeah.
There's going to be tension at times. We don't live in a cookie cutter perfect world, especially when it comes to communications.
This is true.
There's going to be people that don't like your posts. There's going to be people that don't like your pictures.
Have an opinion about it. Yeah.
Everybody's got an opinion, right?
Yeah.
And that's hard to. But you're going to lead with love. You're going to lead with trust.
Right.
And I think that's what's incredible about Centerpoint. And so thank you for being on this
podcast. Thanks for having me. I had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is great.
And if you're in the lobby and you see Mackenzie, make sure that you say hey to her and bring her some Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
But the plain ones. Plain ones. And don't discount the gummy worms.
Yes.
Got to be Trolley.
And a Dr. Pepper, preferably.
Dr. Pepper, but you still need to look up the list of how many what the flavors are.
After I finish the ones I bought yesterday.
Yes, and the sugar amount. Just saying.
No, okay.
I mean,
because listen, yesterday at church I had a Red Bull, and Kurt was like, "Do you know how much sugar is in that?" But then he had a coffee with 6 shots of espresso, however you say that word.
That's different. That's caffeine.
But I feel like that's equally as bad for you.
I mean, we could have a debate, but we're not going to. But
on the next episode.
Caffeine or sugar, which one will
Which is worse?
Which one will rot your brain fastest?
You know, it's probably sugar, but I'm not going to admit that.
Yeah, probably is.
Right now.
But there are sugar-free options out there. There is help.
They're not as good.
They're not, but yeah, I don't know. Dr. Pepper. Well, hey, thank you for watching this episode or listening to this episode. You may be running on the treadmill. You may be drinking a Dr. Pepper yourself right now.
This is true.
You may be wanting to drink one now after this episode.
You should.
But no, thank you, Mackenzie, for being on this, and thank you for your honesty. And I know that our Centerpoint family is praying for you and cheering you on, and we're excited to have you here on staff. And so with that being said, make sure that you are leading as a leader centered on Christ, and we'll see you on the next episode.